welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Pius Jagenda. I upload every week. I upload tutorials, motivational videos, but also vlogs. So today, I want to teach you how you can be able to set up for a TV show or for any show. I want to show you how I light, how I set camera, I position camera, and why I position the cameras that way. Let's go to the set. Come with me. So this is the show that I filmed. It is called The News Laughs with Andrew Onen. So what we do, we put this. This goes here. So that is like the branding of the show. Basically, I don't show this when I'm shooting, but you never know when the shot really moves. So I use two lights, and those are the Aputure lights. This is one of them. This is the Aputure 300D light. And the reason that's why I use this D light is because it gives me enough light, but also I attach it with this beautiful dome so that I can be able to diffuse that light with this black diffuser. Then I use this second 3D Aputure light. It also, but for it, I use this white diffuser because I want to get more light from one side. Then on the other side, I want to get more soft light. My subject sits here. The reason that's why I enable him to sit here is because I want to separate him from the background. This is my backdrop, but I decide to put my subject away from the background because I need him to be totally separated from that background. But also, I'm a fan of a low f-stop. I love working with a blurred background because that enables my viewers to be able to focus on my subject without any distraction. So this is where I position my camera. This is like my second camera for B-roll shots. This one just kicks in when he's reading his jokes, he's making his jokes. Now this one, if in case he looks away or in case I want to get his gestures, this is the camera that captures that other side of it. Then I decide to have this as my main camera, so this faces him directly. So when he's doing an introduction, when he's doing those facial expressions, this is the camera that captures all that. And the reason that's why I put it this way is because I want to also be able to play around with that f-stop. I shoot on the lowest f-stop for this camera, and I use both of the cameras are the Canon 6D cameras. When we talk about the reason as why I position these tripods the way I position them, one, I love to position my camera on the high level of my subject. One, it enables you to capture that real aspect of life, the way we see people. It makes the viewer feel they are talking to this person directly. But also, that means that the person who is viewing this content can be able to relate with this footage or with this subject. Then about the second camera, I decide to position it that way because it gives me this nice black background, and with the lights lit on the subject, that means that my background is going to be very dark, and that enables me have a subject and that dramatic look. But also with the dramatic look, I have my subject separated from the background. So having talked about why I position my cameras where I position them, and also why I light the way I light, I believe it is very important for you to see the settings I use, because at the end of the day, you might also be able to position the cameras the way I position them, but also it is going to be very important for you to understand the settings that I use and why I use those particular settings. So let's go to the camera and then we dig into these camera settings. So when I'm filming or when I'm going to use any camera, the first thing I do is I go into the setting menu and I drive all the way to this section. So the first thing I do is I clean the sensor. You click set I clean this sensor, now clean, and then that means that my sensor is now fresh for it to perform the task that is going to perform. Then I go back and then I slide down to clear all camera settings. Then I clear all camera settings because I believe someone might have used this camera and then everyone sets the camera their own way. But this enables me to set this camera in the way that I prefer. I come to image quality. I prefer shooting RAW. That is the setting I really advise you to use to shoot in RAW. But also I dig all the way to white balance. I go to Kelvins. Where I prefer 5,200 Kelvins. That works well for me. I go to picture style. The picture style I love to use neutral. Why neutral? Is because neutral in camera, it is like that flat profile. In the 6D we don't have that flat profile. So I use neutral so that my colors are not that much, but also I have too much room to color grade. And then I move all the way to frame rates. I love shooting 24 low compressed so that my image quality is good enough. Then that's pretty much it. Now this takes me to my other camera settings, that is shutter speed. So with the shutter speed, since my frame rate is 24, I go with 50. Then I slide all the way down to my f-stop 4.0. Why I use f4.0 is because I love working with that shallow depth of field. Then I go to my ISO. Right now it is in auto, but I love working with 400. 400 is enough for me, or even 800. I don't go beyond 800 because I am trying to run away from the noise. I use the Sennheiser mics, so the sensitivity for the mic, I decide to put it on 50. Some people prefer putting it on 30, negative 30, because that really gives them the good voice. But when I use, since my cameras are very sensitive, I decide to put it on 50 because I feel that gives me enough sound levels. Then on the receiver, I decide to put it on 0 dB because that means that the camera is also coordinating with the mic to give me good sound. One thing I didn't tell you about my camera settings that I feel is important, despite of the fact that I'm using this, since I'm not using a recorder, you dig into the audio section. Don't let the audio stay in auto. Put that in manual. So once it is in manual, come all the way in the middle, because you don't want your audio to peak. Set that. I believe that is okay. When I speak, you see it is not peaking. That's pretty much it about the settings. So I really advise you to watch these tutorials, or even to subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be doing more of these videos every week. But also, after watching this video, you need to go out and start practicing, because at the end of the day, you won't be able to learn these things if you just watch again and again without practicing. Practice, practice, practice. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'm Pius Jagenda. Subscribe to my channel, but also like. In case you have any question, comment in the comment section below. I'll be able to respond to those questions, or even be able to make videos about those specific topics that you love asked. Thank you guys. Peace.